Hey, what's going on, friends? My podcast every day is broken up into two parts on the free platform. The first part, Act 1, is right now. When it's all done, go right on over to Act 2 to get the second half of the podcast. Thank you so much for checking out my show. Hello and welcome into the Eric St. Show podcast, a daily show where I discuss news, nonsense, and my personal adventures from right here in the Impact Power Sports Studio. Impact Power Sports, find them at impactpowersportsmi.com. They'll sell you a Yamaha golf cart. And you can put whatever you want on it, a customized Yamaha golf cart. Customized wheels, customized paint job, customized graphics. They can put a Hemi in it. All there at impactpowersportsmi.com. Their dealership is on 14 Mile Road in Rockford, Michigan, right in the middle of nowhere. Happy post-Father's Day to all the dads, both who have passed on and are with us now. We had a bit of drama as we did not go to my dad's for Father's Day. That was a big plan. I was very excited about that. To see Dad and hang out. All of that canceled, though. One fell swoop. Madison, who was supposed to go with us, well, Madison came down with COVID. And the timing of this couldn't have been more sensational. Because I was actually putting my card into the thing at the grocery store to buy all the stuff, and then I paid for it. And right at about that same time, Pooh Bear was in conversation with Madison, telling her mother that she's just tested positive for COVID. So I turned around, and she goes, Dinah says, we got a situation. I go, what's up? Madison has COVID. I go, now, I have made the mistake before of going to a place where, venturing out when the family had COVID. And it turns out we got people sick. So I'm like, well, there's no fucking way that I'm doing this. I'm not making this mistake again. So immediately canceled it. Now I've got all this food, and I'm like, well, I'm going to take it back. It's $88 worth of ingredients for the big shish kebab festival, the Slaughter the Turks Eric Zane Show podcast shish kebab festival. Nick asks me, what variant is this one? I don't know, and I detect the sarcasm, because I know you're like a COVID denier and generally a cock. Shut up. Cole says, why did she even test? It's 2025. Because, dick, if we go to where my 90-year-old parents are, father and stepmother, and get them ill, and then they, die, that's not great. Bunch of COVID-denying, anti-vax fucks in here right now. I cannot believe this attitude. So then, I'm like, I'm not gonna risk it. That's why she wanted to determine whether or not she was sick before she visited her loved ones. Dumb fuck. I actually had a conversation with Charity Scam Mike, and this was a conversation. He goes, I wouldn't even have admitted it. I would have just come. It's just the flu. He's one of those morons. And so I go, is that right? Yeah, it's just the flu. And I go, well, first of all, dickhead, if I had the flu, I wouldn't go. Yeah, I guess you're right. Yeah, that's the logic you're dealing with morons who think like that. Nick says you cannot have COVID if you don't take a test. Knowing is what makes you sick. How can someone who actually has so much acumen in various important fields be so blatantly stupid? That's my question. It makes me think that being an electrician is easy. Cole, with some snark, says, does she test weekly? David writes, did you all test? No, you fucks, we don't need to. We don't have any symptoms. We're fine. I'm not going anywhere. I stayed home. Are you idiots suggesting that we should have just gone? Because I would seriously doubt, maybe I'm wrong, maybe you're that stupid, that you would tell us to go to see Joanne and my dad knowing that we are exposed to it, or even bring Madison. Can you maybe explain that one to me, dickheads? Do you think that we should have gone to our Father's Day celebration knowing that we were exposing these individuals who are elderly to COVID? Is that what I'm being led to believe here by the chat? Piano Fingerbanger is here. He's out of Nashville, Tennessee. He still wants to know how I know who he is. Says the amount of idiotic comments in this chat is pretty impressive. And no, he's not sending me a picture of his girlfriend. He says that's too much. I'm not going to do that. David says if she had it, others could have it. Exactly. Matt says a real science-denying chat here trying to create an easy super spreader and kill Meathead. Shame. Exactly. Well, anyway, that's what I was dealing with. So, Dickhead Nick adds, just stay 6 foot away and wear your double mask. It renders it powerless. God damn it, Nick. Rich says, if you're worried about exposing your dad and stepmom, I hope you are not going out in public exposing everyone else to it. It's a great point. Fortunately, I haven't left the house. But the difference is, if I do expose other people to it, it's okay because I don't know them. I mean, let's be honest here. If I did go out and I interacted with people and I was COVID, I did have COVID, which I don't think I have COVID. I don't give a shit. I mean, because I'm not going to know if those people are going to actually contract it. Well, out of sight, out of mind. I don't know. Jeremy says EZ does not go into public. This is true. That trip to Meyer was it for me. Well, anyway, by the time Sunday rolled around, Madison tested negative. So a lot could have happened there. Could have been a false first test. Could have been a false second test. Could have been she recovered, got it out of her system. Who knows? The important thing here is I've got $88 worth of food. So we had Father's Day at my house. And this is a photograph when I put all the food on. Look at that. That looks like the cover of like a magazine about shish kebabs. The fuck just happened? My God, is that spectacular. I don't have the shrimp on yet. I ran out of room on the grill. Besides, the shrimp cooks really fast. So I kind of just yanked something off of it as it cooked and threw the shrimp on. It was all good. I will share the recipe once again. Eric Zane Show podcast, Slaughter the Turks, Armenian shish kebab. Those things that look like little potatoes, those are little potatoes. And you boil them and cook them completely before you put them on. This is the first time I've done it this way. Actually, I did it like this one other time, but this time worked out much better than the first time. I used to do it where I would have like people would go through the line and put what they want on their skewer, and then I would cook it up and have to remember whose was whose. But the problem with that is not all the food cooks at the same speed. Like vegetables cook at a different pace than chicken and beef and whatnot. So you put all vegetables on their own skewers. That line of white ones, those are all onions. To the right of it, all mushrooms. The dark meat is all beef. The lighter meat is all chicken. And boy, does that stuff cook fast. You're done. Just a handful of minutes. So make sure you don't throw all that shit onto one skewer, like vegetables with shrimp, with beef. It just doesn't work. So the way we do it now is go ahead, cook it all up, put them in their respective serving dishes, veggies in one, beef in the other, chicken in the other, shrimp in the other, and boom! Eat like kings. That chicken is especially spectacular because what you do is you zest a couple of oranges or an orange, and then you take the juice from the orange. That's part of the marinade. Same thing with a lemon, same thing with a lime. And then you add something known as tarragon leaves, which you chop those up and put them in the marinade with, and you let that marinate for a couple hours. The thing is, tarragon is hard to find, but it provides a flavor. I think it's pronounced anise, which is the smell, the taste of like licorice, black licorice. And it's very subtle, and it adds to the flavor of the citrus. It's important. You don't taste black licorice when you marinate it, but it's important for the recipe. But you cannot find that shit anywhere. So I racked the easy brain. I said, all right, substitute for fresh tarragon. And there's something you'll find in your grocer's produce section called fennel or fennel. It's like a big bulbous root. Nick is even saying mix tarragon and fennel for the best flavor ever. I wish I could have gotten the tarragon, but they had fennel. And I don't even know if I'm saying that right, so I'm just going to stick with fennel. But the fennel, there's these things that come off of it, and they're like wispy, like little hairs. They're called fronds. So I buy this big fucking bulb of fennel, and this is the type of thing in the store that nobody buys. And so I buy the fucking thing, and when you have to remove these little fronds and put them in this marinade. That anise I was telling you about, fennel, Aram says, thank you. That anise is what they use to make, it's a liqueur called absinthe, which I guess is extremely potent. And I was just reading about that when I was making this recipe. Jeremy says you have to find yourself an alternative Indian grocery store. Can you define what an alternative Indian grocery store is? When it's alternative, is it lifestyle or music? Or not, or neither? And when you say Indian, is it dots or feathers? Nick says just get the dried shit. Fennel seed. It's actually fennel, I guess. No. A fresh is better, dick. Jeremy says alternative is not Meyer. Indian is Dots. It's all those stores on division between 28th and 44. Chris adds Mediterranean Market out on Kalamazoo and 44th. Everything you need. Outstanding. Well, anyway, we crushed it. And a lot of extra food. Because I had bought food for Norman Bummer and his girlfriend. That's my half-brother Norman. My brother Jim. My nephew Zach. There was a ton of people that were going to be there. It's all fucked up over COVID. Good news to report, ladies and gentlemen, in the world of radio. Eric Zane's spirit animal, Kelly Cheese, is back with the crew. And we couldn't have been happier. There were rumors running wild about what could have happened. Disciplinary. But after she posted on Instagram about it, and I can't see it because she has mistakenly blocked me. I don't know why. And but somebody showed me that she posted on Instagram. I was like, well, if she was in trouble, she wouldn't have posted. And she dropped her pooch off at the neighbor's house, almost like she had to get out of here in a hurry. I'll bet you that something happened, like maybe somebody got sick or some type of emergency. So I hope she's okay. I don't know if she commented on the show. Some of my moles might check in with some information that she may have said. But I'm just glad she's back because we kind of need her, you know. Aram says, strange that people were discussing rumors. Exactly. I even heard one rumor that's not true. I mean, ridiculous. That authorities found out that she was, like, selling drugs through the mail and mailing pot back to Georgia. But that is not true. And that's nonsense to even suggest such a ridiculous thing. So that did not happen, thank God. I mean, that would be dumb. Only a moron would think that they could get away with that. So I'm glad she's not doing that. But I'm glad she's back. You know, we need her on the show. We have a Big Fraud Wednesday coming up. We're doing it a day earlier this week. We'll kick it off Wednesday at 6 p.m. with Who Are These Free Beers? And then after that, we will kick off the Ben and Eric Patreon podcast. I have a clip that I want to share with you as a preview of the big show. This one goes back a handful of weeks, but I've been saving it. I've got a number of them that are kind of like archived that you've not heard before, and this one centers on our pal Hot Wings. They were having a discussion on the show about how it seems like more and more often families that are existing have fewer cousins. Essentially, this was based on people aren't having as many kids these days as they used to. And the millennial generation is experiencing these small numbers of cousins because of this. So they played a TikTok, and it was pointless. But Hot Wings made a point, and this is really all that Hot Wings needed to say here.
Right?
Yeah. I mean, my family, I have 5 cousins on both sides combined.
Wow.
Okay, that's it. He illustrated, my family, 5 cousins. That's it. And there's really nothing left to say there. However, the Wings feels he has to go through the whole family tree, which frustrates Free Beer, who eventually just jumps in and interrupts to stop the bleeding.
Yeah, and it's crazy because, so that generationally started earlier.
So let me just play it in how quickly it happens.
Right?
Yeah. I mean, my family, I have 5 cousins on both sides combined.
Wow.
And then he continues with, it's crazy. No, it's not.
Because my grandpa had. Yeah, and it's crazy because, so that generationally started earlier because my grandpa had, I think there were 13 of them, 13 or 14 kids, like a Catholic family, big Catholic family. And then they had 4. And then of those, my dad, there's 3 of us. And his brother had 2 kids, and the other 2 siblings, there was 1.
Is this going to add up to 5? Because I get the number. I don't need the diagram. It's just making my head go.
Yeah.
Okay.
He just whips out his dick and slaps him in the face with it. Oh, no. This clip really gives you a clear example of Hot Wings' inability to discern from what is boring and what is not. You ever get with that person who just goes on and on and on? You already said what's important. You don't need to give us the entire breakdown. God damn it. David says that's why he is the boring machine. And Hot Wings or Freebeer kept him on a short leash on that one and just let him have it. That was a fantastic interruption. Is the number going to equal 5?
Is this going to add up to 5? Because I get the number. I don't need the diagram. It's just
I got the number, the diagram. I don't need the number. I don't need the diagram. It's just making my head hurt.
making my head go.
Yeah.
Okay.
God damn. Just stops him right in his tracks. I mean, it was fucking rude. But you got to do that with him. You have to. That was awesome. That was a good job by the Burn King to let him know that, look, dude, you can't. There are other things you're good at. This is not one of them. Shut the fuck up. Jesus. Okay, I'm about to kick folks out. If you're watching on Facebook, TikTok, or YouTube, it's time to say bye-bye. You can check out the rest of the show on Twitch, twitch.tv/Eric Zane Live, or download the Twitch app and search Eric Zane Live. I have a Patreon where we have right now 57 episodes of Who Are These Free Beers? You go to patreon.com/Eric Zane, and we are nearing 200 episodes of the Ben and Eric Patreon podcast. I just posted a new edition of the Lost Zane recordings from our WBBL days. All those shows are on there. We're nearing 500 shows on that. There's so much material for you to get lost in at patreon.com/Eric Zane. Sign up for free for 7 days at patreon.com/Eric Zane. Send me an email on the Shoreliners Striping inbox, eric@ericzaneshow.com. And thank you for checking out the show on Facebook, YouTube, and TikTok. Okay. The open and live stream brought to you by Adam Kasari, the realtor of choice on the Eric Zane Show podcast. 616-914-4061. That's 616-914-4061. If you're thinking about selling your home, thinking about buying a home, there you go. 616. Oh, God. 914-4061. 616-914-4061. If you're in West Michigan, have Adam work for you. Irvine's Auto Repair, Grand Rapids Hybrid and EV. Not only do they sponsor the Facebook and Twitch streams, they are a regular on this show for many, many years. ervines.com. This is where you go, a trusted place to get your vehicles repaired. ervines.com. Call at 616-532-6600. That's 616-532-6600 for Irvines. They have free rental cars, loaner cars, I should say, and you can get into one of those while they are working on your vehicle, no matter what it is, whether it's an oil change or something more serious. And when you bring your car into Irvine's, they're going to go over it with a fine-tooth comb and determine everything that needs to be done that you may or may not be aware of. Some stuff is so pressing that they're like, you got to get this taken care of. This is a big deal. They'll also do the, all right, you can get this taken care of now or later. It's all there for you at ervines.com, 616-532-6600. And then we've got Berlin Raceway, online at berlinraceway.com. Racing this weekend, tickets $14. You can buy them online all the way up till 11:59 Friday, 11:59 p.m. on Friday. $14 tickets at Berlin Raceway. Buy them in advance and save. Price goes up 1 minute after that. 15 and under free, parking free, bring in a cooler, bring in a bag with all your goodies and soft drinks. 12 by 18 or smaller on that. No glass, no alcohol. It's a party at Berlin. We got a bar over there in case you want to get a little bit more elaborate on your drink choices, your booze. You can buy it all at Berlin Raceway or just go to the concession stand and get yourself a cold beer. All right, let's get after Fat-a-thon. Amanda was instructed last week. She kind of like was like, hey, guys, I'm having trouble. I'm just going to quit because I'm fat. And we're like, no, you stupid fat fuck. What are you doing? And she's like, I can't stop. I just got to keep eating. Like, no. Just tell you what, you're at this music festival. She's at some music festival this past weekend. I think it was called the Fat Festival. And she ate like an asshole and listened to shitty music and was walking around sweating. And now that's done. I said, just do that, get laid, eat, and show up Monday fatter than ever. Do not send me a weigh-in, and then get back on the fat wagon on Monday. That's okay. You had your lost weekend. You had your fun. But don't give it up altogether. You still have lost 20 pounds. Don't fuck it all up totally and go north of 300. Well, you're probably north of 300 again. But fucking keep trying. What are you, a pussy? Jesus Christ. Oh, hey, that's a good idea. Hey, sounds like a good idea. So in a week, we'll hear from her. Everybody gained weight. I gained a pound. I'm at 180. Overall, down 5.5 after 13 weeks. It's pretty miserable. The miserable continues with Jeremy and Rebecca. Are the wheels falling off? Is this the end of the ride? Was it a good ride and now these two slobs are fucking shit up? Jeremy, on his birthday, which was one of the days last week, I think it was the 12th, did actually get down to 225. Last week at this time, he was 228.3. And then over the weekend, he shot up. He's up to 230.4, if my math is right. Which means his weight goes up to the amount lost. I should say the amount lost is less. He's now lost 104.9 pounds after 42 weeks. So an absolute disaster. I get the star on the blubber, even though I gained, because I only gained 1 pound. But fat fuck Jeremy gained 2.1. And Rebecca is even more disgusting. She went from 274.9 to 278 for a 3.1 pound gain. That affects her overall weight loss down to 16.6 pounds after 21 weeks. So she was the most disgusting. I was the least disgusting. 3 horrible losers. That is so bad. Man Bun Chris is weighing in with time to eat all the cookie dough, the keto cookie dough. I think Jeremy got shit-faced. Jeremy says also, I miss Amanda being in the chat. The impression is too good. She might be here. She usually says something if she's here. Phil Cronin is here. So glad you're here, buddy. Hope you had a good weekend. Happy belated Father's Day. Don't you have like 8 kids? Nick says, who knew eating fresh booty had so many calories? Yeah, maybe that's what this is. Maybe this is Jeremy and Rebecca are totally sexually active now and have this is what they're doing. I don't know. I mean, all I know is that between these two fucking pigs, they've gained 5.2 pounds. Badger says, eat more ass and less cheeseburgers. I want to get into a little bit more of what these two fat fucks had to say. Rebecca says, good morning, Eric. We're just going to pretend this last week didn't happen. I gained 3.1. I'm weighing in at 278, but let me tell you, the food I had this weekend was worth it. I started Friday night with Jeremy's birthday pinball tournament. The food at One Well was incredible. Uh-huh. And then I played in my first ever official pinball tournament. It was so much fun. And then we drove back to Grand Rapids where we stopped at a 24-hour diner for a nightcap of birthday cheesecake. Saturday, we went up to Traverse City. I introduced him to my favorite pizza place, Charles and Reed. I think he may have died and gone to heaven. Sunday, Jeremy cooked us lamb shanks and saffron risotto. Holy shit balls, was it incredible. I have no regrets at all. Back at it this week. Set a new PR on deadlift last week at 255 pounds. Jesus Christ. What a strong ass you must have. Hoping to set a new bench press PR tonight. Hope everything is well with everyone else. Signed, Becky. All right. She didn't mention about Jeremy's drinking. He says, well, I hit my goal on Friday, then absolutely ruined it. Tons of beer at my birthday pinball tournament and too much pizza with Becky and her sister on Saturday. Poor weekend for self-control. I'm not going to beat myself up over it too much, but I will be honest, I'm disappointed after basically maintaining last week and then going up as much as I did this weekend. It's time for me to refocus and get back on my A game. This week will be a good one. Well, I think the only logical thing to do is to dump Becky, like, immediately. Like, right now in the chat, you need to tell her to F off. No, don't do that. Piano Finger Banger says, speaking of bench press, CZ, when are you going to start pumping some iron? Yeah, I've been dying to get back after it. You know, I did P90X for about 6 weeks, and then I got sick and then never went back. Totally quit. Megan writes, tell her to F off. No, don't do that. That was very Megan for you. Rebecca says, well, it was a good run, folks. I'm sure you will both get it back. At least you better. Now, look, let me just tell you this. You are setting yourself up. If you have another stinker week, and I doubt you will, I do believe your resolve. I really do. Okay? But if you screw it up, well then, all right, I'm gonna start to bust your balls the way I will bust Amanda. You know? Different levels of intensity. Just something to think about. I heard from many people over the weekend sending me this image. People were blown away by how much I look like this guy that killed those two politicians. Vance Bolter is his name. Vance Bolter, his weekend plans were kill politicians. And Vance Bolter would bang on the door of people. In fact, Democratic State Representative Melissa Hortman, she opened the door and Vance Bolter was there, but he was dressed up like a cop. And he said, hey, how's it going? And she's like, hey, what's up, officer? And blammo! Fucking shot her. She and her husband, Mark, were shot and killed at their home in what appeared to be a politically motivated assassination. That's exactly what it was. Shortly before that one, State Senator John Hoffman, a Democrat, and his wife, Yvette, were both shot multiple times at their homes. They did survive. Holy fuck. But State Representative Melissa Hortman and her husband did not. And then this fucker took off. And so you wake up Saturday, you're like, what the fuck is going on? And then I start seeing people say, God damn it, EZ. That looks like you. People I don't know or hadn't heard of were saying, holy shit, is Eric Zane the guy that killed this dude? Okay, I'm going to try to do the same smile. Yeah, I could see it. I think I look like that assassin. The hair is, he wears his hair like kind of a dork, you know, that high and tight military cut. I don't know too much about this guy other than he's, he's like some of our chat members. He's one of these crazy right-wing fucks. You know, that's what you do these days. If you're a right-wing fuck or a left-wing fuck, what you do is you then go and find someone who you can take your crazy aggression out on, and you kill them. You remember that loser that shot insurance guy? The guy who runs United Health? Luigi Mangione? That crazy fucker didn't like that he had a couple of copays. So he just shot the guy dead in the like assassin style with one of those what are they called? Is it called a CD printed gun? Isn't that what it is? A 3D. I said CD. A 3D printed gun. You hit print, it comes out a gun. You print bullets And then, well, I don't even think you print bullets. I think you put real bullets in it. And some of my left-leaning asshole audience members, they love that guy because he killed a guy who's in charge of an insurance company, which is the dumbest thing I've ever heard in my life. So you got fuckface Luigi and my left-leaning pals, they love him. And then this guy, Vance Bolter, my right audience members, like all the audience members that are MAGA, and you know who you are, have already contributed thousands of dollars to free Vance Bolter. They are actually excited with the work that he has done by murdering that woman who had kids. That's the world that we live in now. All of you sick sons of bitches, ought to be a fucking shame to yourselves. God damn. So Governor Tim Walz, Megan with the great point, he's going to get a pardon. Yeah, I expect a Trump press conference today saying Vance Bolter is the great American. We are going to go ahead and pardon him before he's even tried. Trump's still recovering from what a bash it was. Oh, my God. Trump with the Goose Stepping Festival in D.C., where he had to stand doing the military salute for, like, the length of the thing. I think he stood there the whole time like this. And you get all of these Army guys going by, and then the tanks. They even did a tribute to World War II, and they brought out Sherman tanks. And then the Army guys were dressed like World War II soldiers, you know? And it was easily one of the stupidest moments in the history of America. What a waste of time, energy, and money. How about instead of stupid parade, we take $50 million that it cost for this stupid parade and give it to the VA? How about that? I heard my man Tim Dillon talking about this on his podcast, so he made this point, and it's a terrific point. What the fuck? $50 million for a goddamn parade. So dumb. Meanwhile, there was every city in America had a No Kings rally. And on Friday, Madison informed me that she would be attending the No Kings rally. Now, it turns out that she did not go to the No Kings rally because she was diagnosed, she had a positive COVID test. But this is how she told me. She says, Dad, I go, yes, darling. I just want you to know, and don't worry about me, but I'm going to the No Kings rally. And by the way, let me get ahead of this. After that Vance Bolter killed those politicians, I said to her, I go, this is why I don't like you to go to these rallies that you go to. Why? I go, because there's a good chance that's a great place to murder people. Like if I'm an idiot like Vance Bolter, I just throw a goddamn pressure cooker bomb into the pile of hippies that you are and you're hanging out with, and we've got dead hippies everywhere. You don't want to be in a pile of dead hippies, do you? Or, if there's someone that exists that's willing to go to the extreme, the lengths that Vance Bolter went through, or Luigi Mangione, I mean, what better place to slaughter people protesting Trump than at the No Kings rally? Why do you fucking idiots do this? And then you see the signs, and there's that one that's been, people have this same sign at Trump rallies and at left-leaning rallies. I forget it. It's something about the response to tyranny needs to be being a rebel or some shit. Knock it off. You're not going to do anything. You're just going to stand there like a dick and hold a sign with a bunch of other fucking hippies. Piano Finger Banger says, pile of dead hippies. Sounds like a sweet 90s jam band. You're not kidding. So she's like, well, Dad, I just want to let you know I'm going. I go, okay. And then she says, I go, all right. And she's like, I'm going to wear a long sleeve shirt and a mask. I go, why? And she says, well, because I don't, and a hoodie. So I go, well, you're going to look like you're getting ready to loot something, for God's sake. I go, well, what's the point of that? She goes, I don't want anybody to know my identity because I'll get grabbed. Someone will come here and take me. Now, I don't know if that's true, but I'm like, oh, my God. So I was excited that she wasn't going. That actually worked out, you know. I don't want her going to those stupid things. And then I made the point to her. I go, after the news, I said yesterday, because she came home, and I go, look, darling, this is why I don't want you attending these stupid things. Because of guys like Vance Bolter. But the easiest way to keep to have your children do what you don't want them to do is to tell them. Like if I say, Madison, after I say that just emboldens her. That's a flaw that children have. They just don't listen to their parents. You can tell them, don't throw yourself into that volcano, and the next thing you know, they're in a volcano. Phil Cronin here. He says, your house has been a real COVID hotbed the last year. Well, yeah, it happens. Cole writes, maybe if she was wearing that mask earlier, she wouldn't have gotten COVID. Oh, my God. All right. I have a workplace staff meeting to get to. So I'm going to end this now, but I'll be back. I have the other half of this podcast. You remember, some of you old timers, superstar Cher. Remember Cher? Of course you remember Cher. She's still kicking. Back in the 70s, she was married to Greg Allman from the Allman Brothers Band. They had a son named Elijah Blue. And this guy is so fucked up. He's been fucked up since he was 11. Like he said, yeah, when I was 11, I started taking heroin. I'm not kidding you. He's 48 now. This guy has never not been fucked up. I'll get to that story and what's going on in his life a little bit later on. All right, that is Act 1 of the podcast. Act 2 is available right after this one. Go check it out. What are you doing? Don't miss a second of it. Thank you so much.